Hi, everybody. I'm Joey Florence, and as you may have already heard, Canadian Ability Foundation's Power Up program, funded by the RBC Foundation, is designed to help you uncover the hidden job market and find ways to better access opportunities. As part of our ongoing Power Up video series, I'm happy to introduce Karen Lay. Along with working full-time as the accessibility planner for the City of Vancouver, Karen works as an independent consultant in accessibility and inclusion. She works with businesses and organizations to increase the accessibility and inclusion of people with disabilities. Karen holds a Master of Arts in Human Kinetics, where she examined the social theories behind social inclusion of people with disabilities. Karen has more than 20 years of working alongside individuals with disabilities in the field of recreation, employment, government, and community involvements. Wow. During the most recent years, she has worked with many service providers in the analysis of inclusion within their HR policies, facilitated staff training, exploring employment opportunities for people with cognitive disabilities, and supporting event planning. Karen's a trained facilitator who leads honest and authentic conversations about inclusion by instilling a sense of not knowing and curiosity, thus shifting the culture of disability. It's Karen's belief that inclusion has so many layers, but enjoys working with individuals, companies, organizations, and municipalities to work towards building an inclusive environment. Since birth, Karen's lived with cerebral palsy, which have caused her to encounter barriers in everyday aspects of her life. However, because of her lived experience, Karen has a strong passion to ensure that we all work together to build inclusive spaces so that every person is valued and respected. Karen is an outdoor enthusiast, however, she requires support when participating in activities such as kayaking or hiking. Together today, we're going to talk about mastering the meeting, including real conversations, not perfection, and how to have authentic interviews and what it means to build confidence. So, together, let's get started. Thank you so much, Karen, for joining today.
Thank you for that warm welcome.
Of course.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, we've talked a lot about different aspects of the job search, how to get a job, what it means once you're in the job. But before we kind of go into that, I'm curious, what is one thing you wish someone told you before your first interview?
That I think it's not perfect. That getting a job is not always the one you go for. Like you have to start from the bottom up and work your way up. And it's not good to be like hunky dory or like with golden stars. You could do mess up. You could do go for the lower paying job. You going to go for the bottom up. Everyone needs this that somewhere. But at every job you learn skills that you will forever um remember, even do the job that you want in the future. That you will always pick up little things along the way, and that just builds your confidence, builds your identity.
Yes, that is such a good point, Karen. Absolutely. We're learning as we go, right? It's a journey with
Totally.
yeah, exactly, with every job, with every experience, with every volunteer experience we have. We're always
Yeah.
learning and developing skills, even if it wasn't, let's say, our most favorite job or something that we absolutely loved.
Totally. And it may not be within the company, it may be the people that you meet along the way. Like everyone has its bit to contribute to your journey.
Yeah, totally. Totally. I think that's so great. And I mean, we were talking before about this, but I would love if you wanted to share your experience working outdoors and all of that. How has that impacted or influenced the way that you work today?
I think in outdoors, there's so much, so much messiness, so much you, and especially as a person with a disabilities to go outdoors. We all need help from one another. Maybe someone doesn't have a stove to cook on, so you borrow things, you mix and match. So we all work together. I think that the beauty of outdoors is the messiness of the dirt and the playfulness, and then the willing to grab someone's hand to help you up the rock, or like the basic skills that you instills in us to bring forth, like and the willingness to ask for help. Yeah.
Totally, totally. Yeah. I mean, there's two things that you said that so resonate with me there, which is one is, finding those people that will help you. Right? It's lending a hand when you can, or finding that extra hand when you need it. And the other thing is the messiness of it. I think that's such
Yeah,
an important part, right? Because it goes with every job that we have or every interview that we have. It might be messy and it might not be exactly what we
totally,
plan.
totally.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, yeah,
yeah, yeah, no, continue, please.
I mean, I if I planned, like if I think back when I was 20, I really wanted to go with this way to be the marketing director of Whistler Blackcomb. That's my dream, but no, it went zigzag all the way around, and I don't plan that. I just learn from each other, learn from one another, and I love my job working with municipality, doing consulting work. I love it.
Totally. That's amazing. That's amazing. And I'm curious. So today, a lot of what our topic is about is the interview. It's having those meetings, and sometimes they're really hard. How do you manage your nerves under high pressure moments, whether it is an interview or, experiences that you've had?
Um, I like this may not resonate for all your audience, but I say a little prayer before the interview, like whether it's reading a poem or going out meditating in the outdoors. For me, it's praying. For
Yeah.
others, it could be going for a movement outside in the wilderness, or like just like relax,
Yeah.
make use of, and going back to the messiness is willing to be messy during the interview. Yes, you need to put your best foot forward, but you also need people to know that you're human.
Absolutely, right? And
Yeah,
just like this conversation, right? Nothing is planned. We might say something and have to backtrack, or we might, you never know. And so I think
totally.
yeah, that's a great point that you said, Karen, of how, an interview is a conversation, right? And
Yeah,
they want to get to know you, just like I want to get to know you more, right? It's
yeah,
how do we just go about that and finding those things that you said, right? Grounding ourselves in whatever makes us grounded, taking a beat
yeah,
to just
yeah,
focus in. I think that's a lovely answer. Thank you.
totally. And I think one thing that I remember from interviewing is that you are also interviewing them to see if the company or the organization is a right fit for you. The demeanor, the location, the environment, the you are on the equal level player field. Yes, it's a
Yes.
job, but you can turn it down.
Yeah, exactly right. I love that you said that. I'm so happy you said that, right? 100%. You are interviewing them as much as they're interviewing you, right? Yeah, it
Totally.
might be the job that you're applying to, but if you are
Yeah.
not getting the sense that you are feeling comfortable there or really wanting this, you are absolutely welcome to say no or feel it out as you go as well. I think that's a great point.
Totally. Totally.
Another thing I wanted to ask is during interviews, a lot of the questions that they ask might revolve around our strengths and our weaknesses, right? Things that we're
Yeah.
good at and things that we might be a little more, that might be a little more challenging for us. How do you talk about strengths and weaknesses in a way that still feels real to yourself?
I think we, I mean, no one is perfect. So talking about weaknesses is great, but I've always been taught to follow up with, yes, this is my weakness, but I'm a quick learner. So frame it in the most positive way, um, and use teamwork. Like, yes, this is my weakness of not writing well, but with peer review and you know, frame it as a frame your strength as a weakness.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, framing your strengths as a weakness. That's such a good point, right? How do we, even though something might be challenging for us, that's a way that we can say, well, I want to learn how I can improve that challenge.
totally,
Yeah.
totally, yeah.
Can you share a moment maybe when you had an interview or at work or whatever it was when you maybe didn't have the perfect answer, but it still went well?
You know, I think people often don't realize that you can take a pause
Yes.
after the question. You go, let me think about it, and take a pause instead of immediately answering that question. So, like I thought silence during an interview was a bad thing. So I would shoot off the tip of my tongue anything that I thought of on the spot was like it hurted me, like saying stupid things along the way, and then I'm like, oh crap, I shouldn't have said that. But and I've done a lot of mess ups like that, mug up, but you other than a follow up saying thank you for the interview, and try to justify what you did was right. Um, to make you look good. But in hindsight, I wish I took a pause. Let me think about it, or let me get back to you.
Thank you so much for saying that, Karen, because that's such an amazing point. And it's an amazing point to bring into our everyday life. We,
Yeah,
as a social worker, oftentimes it's really crucial for me to take a pause and actually listen to what somebody had
mm,
said, right?
mm,
Because it's in that silence where you're not only able to really listen to and hear the
yeah,
question a bit more, but you're actually able to formulate the answer,
yeah,
the answer that you really do want to answer
yeah,
rather than jumping
yeah,
to a conclusion and saying the
yeah,
first thing that comes to your mind.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Some, someone told me a very um, useful thing. I would never forget that. Um, they go, you have 2 years and 1 month. They use it always listen double and speak less.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that, and forever saying how I interact with people, how I facilitate, because silence is powerful.
Absolutely. I
Yeah,
love that you've two
yeah,
ears and one mouth. You should listen
yeah,
to double as
yeah,
much as much as saying. I think that's such an important thing.
yeah, yeah,
And it goes to
yeah,
what you were saying before, Karen, of how much an interview is a two-way street and that
yeah,
they're interviewing you and you're interviewing them.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
is awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I think that's such an amazing point to bring up, especially when it comes to, those nerves that come with the interviews and or even just not even just interviews, but nerves that come with maybe having certain
yeah,
conversations, right? Giving yourself
totally.
that moment to sit with something that was just said and actually
Yeah,
formulate an answer. It also
yeah,
goes to show, oftentimes when we're in these stressful situations we want to jump to the next question or prepare for the next question even before it comes. And what that
totally.
does is that we're not actually listening to
Yeah,
what the actual question that was asked, and we're already
yeah,
thinking of the next question.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right?
And as a social worker, you probably know very well, okay, I'm listening to my clients, but I'm also thinking of what solutions can I give them or whatever, what advice.
Absolutely. It's something that I've had to practice in my everyday life of,
Uh,
listening and active, it's the word of active listening, right?
yeah.
Meaning that you're really actually focused on what they're saying, you're listening to it, rather than jumping ahead to the next question, right? Really staying in that because you never know what's going to come out of somebody else's answer,
Totally,
right?
totally, totally.
I have one more question for
Yeah.
you. What helps you recover emotionally from a tough interview or a tough day?
I'm not afraid of crying. I I cry though I mean in human experience crying, but other it I go through my roller coaster of emotions and then I'm like, yeah, maybe this isn't the job for me, maybe he, and I'm a believer of God, and I said maybe He doesn't want me to have this job. That's okay. You go through your emotions. There's no right or wrong answer. You did the best you could in the interview, and and the as you grow into being process, you may realize that because it's union, they have seniority, that they hire based on seniority. Like there's so many factors that the company needs to go through if you look on the from the other side perspective, but as a job seeker, you don't put those two things together. But now that I'm on the other side of it, I'm like, yes, I can hire them because I have to go through labor laws. I have to go through, and I'm like, so, it may be a variety of reasons, but yeah,
That is such a great point. A, feel your feelings. Feel however
yeah,
you're feeling, right? I think that's such a great point, right? It's
yeah,
it's okay to feel not okay,
yeah,
right? And if you had a
absolutely.
yeah, and if you had a bad interview, it may have happened for a reason and it may have not, and it just, you
Yeah,
learn from it. Like what you said at the beginning, everything we do, we learn from.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I
amazing.
mean, these are the events that happen in your life. We all can learn from what we encountered during our life.
Yeah. And I think something that I want to leave everybody with is take note of what you're learning from each experience.
Mm,
Because the more you take note of that, the more you can actually recognize how far you've come, the development you've had,
yeah,
and you can really see it, even writing it down in a journal or in your notes, whatever helps you,
totally.
right? And letting yourself know, reminding yourself, hey, I learned this from this experience. I learned how to
Mm,
ask better questions in this interview,
mm,
right? Things like
mm,
that. And the more you write it
mm.
down, the more you're able to acknowledge the growth that you have.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think we are human.
And we're
We
human.
we don't get everything that we want.
Hmm.
So we need to realize that, you know, we need to lose some, we need to win some.
Absolutely. Karen, thank you so much. This was such a wonderful discussion. I'm so happy to meet you, get to know you, and I'm so excited to see, what happens in the future.
Thank you so much and lovely conversation.
Agreed. Thanks so much.
Thanks.